So then guys, today I want to tell you all the details that we know about for the upcoming MacBook Pro with an M5 chip inside of it. This is going to be the next generation of the MacBook Pro, and I want to tell you also the details about the release date and price too. But first of all, let's talk about where we are with the current MacBook Pro. So the current MacBook Pro, the most recent version, is the M4 MacBook Pro, and it got announced at the same time of the M4 Pro and also the M4 Max MacBook Pro, and this was at the end of October 2024, but it wasn't until a week or so later we got our hands on them in the early part of November time. Not much changed that much in the overall design of the MacBook Pro. We did get an extra USB-C port on that standard M4 MacBook Pro compared to the model before with the M3, and we also got the space black version. But apart from this, the main sort of highlight with it was got to do with that actual chip inside, and this came along with a 10-core CPU inside of it and also a 10-core GPU. And to start with the CPU, it came with 6 efficiency cores and it came with 4 performance cores, and like I said, we got that 10-core GPU too. And plus, this was also the first MacBook Pro to come with 16 gigabytes of RAM as standard with it, what was great news to hear, but the storage amount still started at 256 gigabytes. But enough of that, moving on then to the next generation of the MacBook Pro. The first question you might be asking is, what about the design and what about OLED displays and things like this? Are they coming in the next generation? And I'm going to say it right now, it doesn't look likely at all. The next generation of the MacBook Pro, the M5 one, looks like it's have the exact same design like you're seeing right here on my desk, this MacBook Pro here, but the main big change will just be the chip. There will be no OLED display this time round. That looks like that's going to be for the M6 MacBook Pros. And there is the potential, what Apple may even do with that, is they may reserve that OLED display for, say, the M6 Pro and the M6 Max version, and the standard kind of M6 version may not even get the OLED display. It might still be in this old design like you're seeing right here, the current one. And remember, Apple have done this in the past with the M1 MacBook Pro and the M2 MacBook Pro. It had the older design, whereas the Pro and the Max chips versions had the newer design inside of it. But it does look like that the OLED display isn't going to be coming, I'd say, probably to 2027 now. And I'll explain the reason why behind that when we get to the release date and price information in a moment. But just going back then, for overall design, probably not a lot is going to change. Where things are going to change is all to do underneath the hood, and that is with the M5 chip. Now, the M5 chip, most likely this time, to do with the actual CPU wise of things, it's probably not going to change at all. It's probably still going to get the same 6 efficiency cores and also 4 performance cores. Obviously, those cores are going to be a bit more faster this time round, and they're also going to probably be a little bit more efficient than what we've got in the M4. I would probably be saying you're expecting around about a 25% overall gain in kind of performance we're going to get in the CPU kind of area there. But obviously things like the NPU will be better, and also the GPU. And talk about the GPU, more than likely the GPU might get an extra core or 2 inside of it. Do remember that the M1 chip actually had an 8-core GPU, but with the M2, that is when we got the increase up to 10-core GPU, and then the M3 got nothing with the GPU, then obviously the M4 got nothing with the GPU, the CPU got 2 more extra cores instead. So you can imagine now the next logical step is to actually get inside of it now to have 12 cores for the GPU inside of the MacBook Pro. But what I would also be saying with that, obviously, there will probably be 2 offerings with that, but most likely the full fat, like I say, version is probably going to be available on the MacBook Pro. It's more like the MacBook Air would actually have a bin down version of the GPU inside of it. But for RAM offerings, I'm also going to say this, more than likely it's going to stay exactly the same as the M4. Remember, Apple have just increased the RAM up to 16 gigabytes. They're not going for the next generation, going to increase this to 24 gigabytes as the minimum. It's going to be 16. there will be that 24GB option, and there will also be that 32GB option, what you could pick with the baseline M5 MacBook Pro. Now, one thing what could change though this time around is the storage. Do remember with the MacBook Pro, if you get the M4 standard one, the baseline amount of storage you get in this is 512 gigabytes of storage. And to be honest, in 2025 and even going into beyond, that's not a lot really. So I'm expecting this probably to go up a tier now, up to 1 terabyte as the minimum this time round. Apple need to do this, their next logical step as well. So yeah, that is one thing that's possibly going to be happening when we actually get the release of the M5 MacBook Pro. But just quickly guys, I want to tell you about today's sponsor, Incogn. And if you value your privacy, this one you'll want to stick around for, trust me. So I finally did what they told me not to do. I Googled myself, full name, city, the whole thing. And wow, I found my information on so many sketchy sites. White Pages, Telus.law, DMB, even sites I don't even know existed. But that's where Incogn's unlimited plan comes in, and this is their most powerful tool yet. With custom removals, you can now submit any link where your personal info shows up, even if it's not part of their usual automated list of, say, 250 plus data brokers out there. Paste it into your Incogn dashboard, hit submit, and the privacy team gets to work. No templates to send, no guesswork, they handle it all. And do you want to know the best part about this? There's no limit. You can submit as many links as you want, whether it's your name on a people search site or your old address floating around. Incogn helps clean it up. And I want to say I'm serious about this. We spend hours securing our devices, but what about data that's already out there? With Incogn Unlimited, you've actually got a fighting chance. And with that, what I would say is check out my description below of this video, because right now, if you use the code MTTDEAL with the link below, you will get 60% off their annual subscription. This is a fantastic deal, and it also keeps your data safe too from being sold over to many kind of brokers out there. So definitely do check it out. And with that, let's return back to the main video. So moving on from this then, what about the release date and price then for the MacBook Pro? When is it going to be coming out and how much will it cost us? Well, let's first of all talk about the release date, because we were thinking for a long time that this device with the M5 was going to be coming out October this year in 2025. And there is still a slight possibility that may happen, but it's looking likely, according to this new leak right here, that's no longer going to be the case. It's more likely that the likes of an iPad Pro with an M5, remember by the time we get to October, that's almost 18 months later since the M4 iPad Pro came out, that this is going to get an update first with the M5, and then say maybe the Vision Pro may get an M5 inside of it, but the MacBook Pro with the M5, and then after that the M5 Pro and the M5 Max, this is being pushed out to 2026, and we've been told now it's more likely going to be the early part. So I would probably be saying this is going to be anywhere between, say, January to all the way till March time. And the reason why I say January to March time, Apple in recent years have released products in January. They've also released products in February. They've also released products in March time. So it's probably going to be in that first quarter of 2026 when we will get the new M5 MacBook Pro, and more likely the M5 Pro and the M5 Max will also come out at the same time for the MacBook Pro model. So yeah, we'll have to be waiting to this. Unfortunately, it doesn't look likely it's going to be this side of this year. But then for the price-wise, what is going to be happening here? Well, the current MacBook Pro with the M4, the baseline version, well, that one does start at $1,599 US. And, you know, obviously you could pick this up on some great Amazon deals, and I'm sure the M4 MacBook Pro at Black Friday later this year is going to be a fantastic deal to get. But it's more than likely that price is going to stay the same. However, it could go up a little more. Do remember we've had this recent leaking right here about the iPhones, where we've been told the iPhones are going to be going up by $50, and Apple are going to be sucking up a lot of the cost in that too. And this is all to do with tariffs and also just inflation and things like this. Now, personally, I think that the MacBook Pro may go up in price, and if it does, I personally think it will go up by $50 to $100 more here. So we're going to be talking probably $1,650 or just shy of $1,700 for this MacBook Pro. But one thing I would be saying with that, obviously, you are going to get that high amount of storage in that, obviously getting the newer chip, and obviously, you know, inflation's been happening all around the world, and I would say personally, that obviously with tariffs and everything, that Apple are sucking up quite a lot here and only passing a little bit on to us, the customer. Now, obviously, in a perfect world, we'd want the price to go down even more, but I just don't see that happening. And personally, I think I'm 50-50 on this, that the price will go up at all, or it may stay the same. But one thing I am quite sure of, the price will not go down this time around for the M5 MacBook Pro. But really, guys, that is the latest and greatest that we have on the M5 MacBook Pro. Are you excited for it? Are you going to be getting one? Well, let me know in the comments below. And with that as well, guys, it's time to wrap up this video too. So if you have enjoyed watching it, please do press the like button. As always, if you want to hear the latest Apple news, reviews, and comparisons, make sure you subscribe to the channel and also hit that notification bell. Until next time, guys, I'll see you really soon. Take care. Bye-bye.